about to witness.
Well,
The awesome, crushing might of the Eugene S. Robinson show. Stomper! Hey, what? Timing. It's comedy. All about timing. Welcome, my friend. Good sleep. To a show that seemingly never ends. This is version 378 on the Eugene S show Stomper. But first, let's let Bob Riley sing us in, as he has every single week since 2007. The song is called Intro, All of Nothing. Still available on Revelation Records in Huntington Beach, California, where they shoot you to death in a nightclub, shoot your car with a hammer, and run your mayor pro tem out of town on a rail to open up a substandard restaurant in Central Florida somewhere that will inevitably fail. Oh, you got a good name there, eh? All right. Let's let this play out. Yeah, my timing is all messed up today. Well, I'll spin that scene. The thing that this is the just time as Stigmata, a young dime ignorant. So if this design is that cause me to silent, why can you get that's not the music? So that I'm on my way back nowhere. I took my time, but I could not see so clear. Now I'm taking it real good. Now I'm taking it real good. Space. On my way back there, so payback is always nothing. All right, my friends, you can own that. Buy that from Revelation Records. So, last live show from Poland. If you get the announcements because you subscribe, that's cool. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way first. Last show from Poland. Doesn't change the fact that this is the 24th of August, and the next time we meet, it will be from Spain, but it will also be the last day before I owe June $440. Actually, I owe her more than that, but for the show Stomper, what do they call it? Cost center, $440, $220 for Bad Boss Brief. So subscribe, donate, CashApp, PayPal, Venmo. Plenty of you lifting more than your weight. Some of you are not at all. And if I see you repeatedly, you help out. I guess, it's like when we pull up to a club and the club complains about having to pay us at the end of the evening, as has happened on occasion. I'm looking at you, Mitchell, in Los Angeles at Spaceland. He says, I want you to realize this is coming out of my pocket. And I go, versus what? Seriously, versus what? It comes out of your pocket. It comes out of my pocket. And you walked here. So give me that mod. Do I have to come right out and say it? Give me some money. So anyway, but the 24th, it also is an interesting place because on the 25th, a Toronto gig got canceled because of lack of ticket sales. Of course, there's a kill fee. Now, the kill fee, when, rather than pay us the $3,000 that they were supposed to pay us because there were only fucking 20 tickets sold, not our fault. Not the responsibility of the people who did sell tickets. They canceled and paid us whatever, the $1,500. So, two shows did that. It was actually one show did that, and it was Toronto. And everybody else, you take it on the fucking chin. Have yourself a good time. You think it's fun for us to play in front of fucking less than 2,000 people? Not necessarily, but as long as the people there have a good time, it's not their fault nobody showed up. Anyway, I don't want to get into the finer points of our band's first tour of America. And I told those guys, I said, this is our first tour of America. It's going to be tough. And Canada, of course, is not America. Well, it is North America, but you know what I mean. So anyway, so this is the accounting. This is what has to get done. August 24th. In 2 days, fly off to Spain, and ciao to Poland. Just apparently in the nick of time. The reason why I got this get up. There we go. Fuck cyclones here. The reason why I got this get up is because it's fucking freezing. It is August. And it was raining. There was lightning. There was thunder. There were air raid sirens. There were fireworks. There were some seemingly gunshots. It's like, yo, bro, if I wanted this kind of action, I could have stayed in East Palo Alto. Can I please get to some place where the anxiety is just a little bit lower? All these guys in military uniforms, camouflage gear. And it dawns on me as I'm watching all these soldiers who are unfailingly nice to me, right? I'm a novelty here, whatever. They're not cops. They're just soldiers. It's not like DC being held hostage by fucking shithead president. No, that's not what's happening. But I'm talking to the kid about it, and she and I are sitting in the park, and we're looking at some kid comes in full camo gear, and clearly, it's a membership drive. They're trying to get people to sign up to defend the homeland, right? To defend Poland from real, clear, and present danger vis-a-vis Russia. And I said, she goes, Dad, did you see that kid? Now, Ruby had called me, so I was talking to Ruby, and we're in the kids' park, but then Cora comes over because she thinks it's, wants to talk, but then there's a kid in full camo gear who was like 8 years old. I said, yeah, kid, you want to try to get him so when he's 18, he thinks it's real good to do. Unlike other countries where people just go to the military to get college degrees or whatever, here there's a real concern that she goes, well, is war going to break out while we're here? I go, I don't think so. Let's hope. But do you notice something? And she goes, what? She didn't get it. And I was like, they're camo gear. All these guys that we've seen walking here to this park were camouflaged. And I said, yeah, let me explain to you where I'm going with this. In the last few years, anytime I've seen anybody in the military in America, they've had sand-colored camo, because they've been either deployed or about to be deployed to a place that's sandy. Gulf War, Gulf War, Syria, Yemen. These are dry, dusty places in which I go, I haven't seen this kind of camo gear in America since Vietnam, right? Well, why do you think that is? Look at all these forests that are around us. These guys are anticipating fighting on this country that didn't exist as a country for 137, 157 years. It used to be this massive, Poland used to be massive. Poland, Lithuanian, friendship bond that took up like everything. It was massively huge. And then something happened, and then Poland just got fucked by everybody and ceased existing for 157 years. The Austro-Hungarian Empire took it over. Like all the countries that ring around on the Baltic Sea, and it just said, fuck you, and they took it. And it wasn't until after World War I that people were like, hey, what about the Poles? The Poles were like, hey, what about us? That they actually, I think this is my theory as to where the Polish joke came from, which is all but dead. After Lech Walesa, it's all died because people are like, oh, Poles are real people, not just stupid punchlines for jokes about stupid guys. So I'm looking at these guys, and it just capped off a week of thinking about death with this Brent Hines thing. And if you know anything about celebrity deaths, and I'm going to call him a celebrity because I didn't know him, but all my friends knew him and seemed to like him. It harkens back to James Dean, who was speeding along a highway on his Porsche sports car variant, his Lotus ripoff, whatever it was. And says the guy's got to see us. Car turned in front of him, didn't see, smash, boom, bang, dead. Same sort of thing with a BMW SUV. Brent Hines, 51 years old, from recently departed from Mastodon, fucking T-bones this guy who turns right in front of him. Now, my first thing, my temptation was to go, look, you 50, I used to be an avid motorcycle rider. Stop that shit after 40. I need to be riding a motorcycle. And, the thing is, motorcycles, it always seemed like a good idea until I got on it. And then it seemed like a good idea right after I got off of it. Right. So this is where we're this is where we are, right? Where we are. So and every young guy I see who's got a leg in the cast is always like motorcycle sit. And also, I've been driving long enough where I've seen how people just get the fuck out of here. What do you want? Do you hear him yowling? Yeah, donor cycles. I don't see anybody, young guys that see under 50 in wheelchairs. What happened? It's either skiing, snowboarding, or motorcycling. This shit that you don't need to be doing. It doesn't get me where I need to go that much faster. I don't need that quality of cool in my life anymore. If I want to hang out with bikers, I can do that without having a motorcycle, And then, Mr. Robinson, you talking about getting a jet ski? That's different. That's different. Well, first off, cars are not on the water. So there is that. Outside of that, maybe, with the orca situation you have in the Mediterranean, but they're just smashing boats. They're not smashing jet skis. So maybe I'll get lucky. Who knows? I'm just going to rent one for the time being, because having to get it back and forth to the beach sounds like a complete hassle. And my future life is not about anything having to do with hassles. So meditation. So Heinz dies. He smashes this right after, this massive, he leaves Mastodon. This is always amicable, but then he starts unloading on the guys from the band, like these pieces of fucking shit, which was giving me great amounts of enjoyment since, I guess I can share it here. Well, no, I won't share it here. Yes, Skull Game is still in the States. I never said anything about Skull Game being for sale. It still exists. And I don't know who would be crazy enough to buy it, but I enjoy the fuck out. It's firewalled, and periodically I go on it to just because I need a laugh. And we were funnier in my mind than Hard Times or The Onion, because there was nobody out there doing sex comedy, right? So that was going to be the car. No, yeah, it's still in the States, it's still for sale. But I don't know nobody listening to this show can unless you know somebody, I'll even bring it up. So anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000 for it. That's a deal. Would I accept 20? Probably at this point to the right owner. But in any case, that's the Skull Game, the car, which is the actual name of the car is Crypt. Skull Game is the emblem on the back. Montreal folks, you know what, Enterprise, I don't remember. Didn't you visit the Montreal folks on your tour for business purpose related to Skull Game? I don't know. I don't know what you know. And I don't remember what I've told you. This is the perilous thing about doing a podcast in which I am much more than candid. You just start using code and maybe I'll figure out what you mean when I got kicked out of Montreal. Well, that's a different story for a different time, which I've never told the full deal on that, but that's not part of the show. I don't know. The point is June's got to be paid come September 1st. The point is, this is my last 2 days in Poland. The point is, the next show will be from Spain, and the next show will show me to be an older man as I have a birthday in the next week. Do not tell me happy birthday. Do not say happy birthday in a public forum. I do not want to be inundated with birthday messages from people who don't give a fuck whether I'm having a birthday. It's just for me to mention for you so that I can now start talking about how I'm 63. And I can't quite do that yet because I'm not 63 yet. So I'm enjoying 62. I need to come up with some kind of clever rebus to describe being 63, 2 years away from retirement. Actually, I think that next year I'm going to apply for Social Security because if Trump but blench, I know my course and I don't want to get taxed or robbed for this thing. So, I know if you knew the actual day of my birth that you would have good feelings and think things like happy birthday in your head. That's good enough for me. So anyway, so let's get back to Brent. So Brent is dead. All right. And then I start to think Albini is dead. And Will is dead. And then the list of people who I know or cared about or loved or really liked a lot are dead. And I start to think, Jesus Christ, on a parallel path, I'm thinking, I need a break. People got to stop fucking dying. And I go, at 63, you think that's likely to happen? This is the bear story all over again, man. I mean, I can't, we're both being chased by a bear. I'm not going to run faster than the bear, but, I would rather be on this side of the storytelling than on the other side of the storytelling. And there's something else that I know that people have been doing, and an ex of mine, a boyfriend hers, did this, and I thought it was kind of naif at the time, but she was dating an older man. She's a year older than me, and the dude that she was dating was like 10 years older than her, and 12, and dude got shingles, and apparently shingles is so painful that he said, I'll never go through it again, and then it started to come on again. He's like, I'm out. I'm going to have a death party, and I'm a living funeral is what he called it, some such thing. But then he zigzagged. It was such a raging success that he decided he wanted to live a little bit more. And so he, after this big thing where everybody came to pay homage to him while he was still alive, because at the end of the party, he was going to kill himself, much like Howie Montag, the doorman at Studio 54, who used to let me into Studio 54. The guy decided not to kill himself. But it was weird. It was like a Robert Heinlein story, because during the course of his choosing to live again, people were like, fuck it, he's dead. Well, why would I talk to a dead guy? What, are you crazy? But then the shingles did come back, and the guy said, I can't, and he was out, did it, drank some fucking tea with some poison in it, and yeah, bro, after that story, I got my shingle shot. I always thought it was like Princess Bride for me. Well, if you get your, okay, they put poison in the shingle shot. So if I take it, then I get this, then I don't get shingles, but I get the poison, the other thing. I go, what if they want you to get you? I mean, so I couldn't tell. And finally I figured out, it's like Pascal's wager, that I would rather take the flu shot and the pneumonia vaccine and the shingles one, because they're really trying to kill. Where do you stand on the COVID thing? Well, I got 3. They've been pushing me to do more than 3. I'm like, I'm out. I'm not going to do this shit every year. If I haven't built up an immunity from the 3, considering I didn't get COVID at all before, fuck you. Till you could look, I'm whatever. What's a lady and the tiger? What's behind the door? I don't know. So yeah, I got all that stuff. But I couldn't even get my insurance to pay for pneumonia. I had to go to like a Safeway to get it done. But pneumonia, I started to know too many people who were dying from pneumonia. I wasn't taking pneumonia seriously. It was something my mother used to say to get me to put a coat on before going outside. You're catching pneumonia. I didn't know people died from it. The first friend I had that died from pneumonia was rabies from that band Warzone. And that was like 1987. What the fuck? Get your shots or don't get your shots. One of us will be proved right. The bear will get one of us. I just got to be faster than you. Get my flu shot or not get my flu shot. Get my COVID or not get another one. I don't know. It's find the red. So these guys, and I'm reading people's homages to Brent and videos of people putting up of what a good guy he was with a good life. I mean, you can't, from my neck of the woods, there's not any clear definition. Like, for example, Tool. So, as we come to the conclusion of the show, it takes a little bit of resonance of what I usually say at the end. Look what you made me do, don't die, bloody. It makes it a little more trenchant. Try not to die between now and next Sunday, the 31st, which will see a 63-year-old man hosting the show. I also get weird about my birthday because I grew up reading articles after articles of guys on super significant days. The journalists would always write, he was just about to get married and he got stabbed to death. He was just about to graduate from college and he fell in front of the subway train. It was his birthday or his anniversary, fill the blank, and he was, so around my birthday, what is that great line from the hip hop song? No mistakes allowed. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. I like that, BC. Education will ban your autobiography. That's my second memoir. The period I describe as after I went crazy. So the first one you have before I went crazy, and the second one is after I went crazy. Much more interesting book, but right now we come up on the pay period for the first memoir. Find out if it paid enough sense to make it worth it. All right. So anyway, the show has come to a conclusion. Exactly. It's freezing here, man. It is freezing, but it is Poland. I'm going to be flying 2 hours south of here to Spain, closer to the equator, where I hear it's about 75 degrees, and that's just fine. So thanks for listening. The kid is sleeping. I can't scream to end the show as I might usually do, but look what you made me do. Don't die. Don't die, Blondie. Don't die.
Thanks for joining us this week for yet another episode of the Stomper podcast, featuring your host, Eugene S. Robinson. Follow Eugene's weekly newsletter, which is a soaring hit, over at eugenesrobinson.substack.com. If you're still hanging on to Twitter, he's there at Eugene S. Robinson. While you're at it, you can follow him on Insta at Mr. Sleep 3. That's the number 3. For more episodes of the show that seemingly never ends, go to showstopperpodcast.substack.com. Eventually, it will house all the Knuckle Up archives we can locate. We already have all the jujitsu breakdowns for free. Check out Eugene on the Bad Boss Brief podcast, as well as the If the Shoes Fit podcast. Pick up his memoir, A Walk Across Dirty Water and Straight into Murderer's Row, today, and be sure to leave him a much appreciated, honest Amazon review. Hey, are you still there? I'm here too. This is me, June M. Williams, Eugene's producer. The Show Stomper has been produced since 2015 by Original Designs, owned and operated by myself, June M. Williams. I provide Eugene with things like videography, original show graphics, motion graphics, show logos, podcast syndication, social media, and more. I can be reached at orijunels@gmail.com, which is spelled ORIJUNELS@gmail.com.